Welcome back to the second quarter of the Bobby Dupree Show. It used to be the second half, but now we're doing it in quarters. We're into the second quarters, and my sidekick here, Andrew.
Good morning. I get paid 4 times now if he does it right.
That's correct. And the show the first quarter went real fast. I felt we brought out a lot of interesting information, hopefully. And
we drove the ball well.
Yeah, we drove the ball
well.
And on Wednesday, October the 24th, which will be next Wednesday night, here at the Opelousas Civic Center, they're having the annual fundraiser for the Delta Fowl Group. And there's two main groups that raise money on behalf of the betterment of the properties that I guess the ducks like to come south on, and there's some refuge and geese come down. And Delta Fowl is one, and recently Ducks Unlimited held theirs. So what I'm leading up to is that it tells me that we have a lot of duck hunters and geese hunters in our area, because both of these are highly successful events that are put on here in Opelousas, and it's basically St. Landry Parish hunters that attend this, and I've been very fortunate. I've been to the Delta Fowl and I've been to the Ducks Unlimited, and the Delta Fowl Imperial Fine Casualty usually gives me my ticket, and I won the big aluminum duck blind manufactured by Quirk Welding in Beggs, Louisiana. George Quirk, my cousin. I had to tell him he knew it, but we don't visit as cousins, but it's good to know that we are cousins. And I'm going to talk about another cousin a little bit later when I show some pictures.
How about this picture? I'm going to show this one real fast. This weekend, the cemetery tours are finishing up at St. Landry Catholic Church. You can go on Saturday at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and 8 p.m. It's only $10 a head to go and see. And on Sunday afternoon, there's 2 matinees, 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Come meet people from all kind of history of St. Landry Parish. You get to meet, how about this? You get to meet Michelle Prudhomme that's running around. How about Miss Ida Vize Pavi, wife of Judge Benjamin Pavi. You can meet the whole group from Opelousas with voices from our past over at St. Landry Catholic Church. Oh, and
what about the priest?
And Saturday night, the Mass is at 4 p.m. Bishop Jarrell is going to come and say the Mass. It's been 10 years they've had the tour, so he'll come if you want to go to Mass. Saturday night, 4 p.m. at St. Landry Catholic Church. You can see the bishop. And
then you could watch the ball game after that.
You could watch the ball game. I don't know if there's any ball games after. You get to watch the other games. LSU's in the morning, 11 o'clock. And UL got the week off.
That's right. It's
UL's
11.
next Tuesday.
Yeah, they played last night.
Did not go well.
Didn't go well.
Hopefully everybody went to bed before it fell apart.
Yeah, it kind of fell apart. I was watching the debate.
Right.
And they both got kind of boring at the end. And I'll say that both candidates, the president and the challenger, they did very well. I just wish that we could watch it on our own and not being told
what to think,
and what was said and all of that. I guess they do that, and they sell a lot of ads around all of this, so they need to make some money. I understand that, and it is viewed by many, and I'm one of them that does some of the viewing with it. But I wish I could just watch it and let me make my own.
Let me hear them, and I'll make my decision.
My own decision. CNN last night even had a scroll at the bottom of which one, as they talked about something, they gave him a little up, or if the people didn't like what they were saying, it went down. And you know that you get to watching that, and you forget
instead of watching what they're talking about.
But anyhow, you're going to have a choice, and I have some pictures of a supper I attend. I do this at least twice a year. I think they have this supper twice a year at Robert Nellum's camp right near Church Point, Louisiana. Right. And it's a gathering, as Robert Nellum likes to call it. It's not political. You're going to see political people there, but those are just friends of his that get invited, and
some of them have been coming there for years, and others just come because they come and eat whether they're running or not.
That's right, and the food is delicious, and I'm going to show you some of the cooks and everything else. Here's Opelousas on the left is
Billy Freelo.
Billy Freelo from Opelousas, and in the center is Mr. Ford with the Ford and
Reverend
Joseph Funeral Home, and on the right is Mr. B, and Mr. B could have been anything he'd wanted to be elected in Church Point. I assure you, he could have been elected to it. Mr. B. Cormier, always, I sat by him for a long time. You know, it's good to keep your mouth shut sometimes, Bobby, and listen to people like Mr. B. He's well respected. And here's A.J. Credaire, who served on the police jury, and he's also the general manager of the Evangeline Downs Training Center, which is located where the old Evangeline Downs in Carencro is located, and Mr. Roland Boudreau. Mr. Roland is a school board member now, and he has put his name up for the election on November the 6th for mayor of Rayne, Louisiana. The present mayor has been elected to what assessor's position over in Acadia Parish. So leaves an opening, and he cooked the sauce. He meaning A.J. Credaire. Good morning, A.J. And this is Senator Morrish on the left, and Judge Ellis Daigle in the center, and Roy Wembley on the right. Roy, of course, is not an elected official to my knowledge, but loves politics. Good morning. And he's part of that Wembley family, Mr. Blon's Church Point area, Chester, and all of that group, Lee, real well-known people. And of course, this is our present congressman here in St. Landry Parish. He will be down to just a small portion of St. Landry. We have three
with the redistricting.
And of course, he'll always be our congressman in this area because we all got to knowing him real well over the last 8 or 10 years, and he's in an election right now. So I know him well, and certainly can give him a recommendation if that means anything.
He was a doctor to a lot of my great uncles and all. So
and some stories. Mr. B told me a story about
that he'd come to the house and take care of them and all. You know, when doctors no longer do house calls, he'd come to the house. So good job.
And the present mayor of Church Point, Mr. Boudreau, and Bob Carrier with CC Chemical right here in Opelousas, and Gary LeJack working with the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Department.
And speaking of the sheriff,
there's the sheriff in the center, and Gary on the right, and I can't think of the gentleman's name. I feel bad. And on the left is Mr. Rodney Richard, and doing the actual cooking right there, and is Joe Carrier. I've been knowing Joe since he was with the state police, retired now, and Errol Thibodeau. Good morning to all of you. They were the cooks, and there was one other guy that cooks. Is Bert, but I don't have a picture of Bert. Maybe in that group picture I have it. And this is Roy and Big G. Big G is one of the, I guess you'd call them, legislative congressman aides. Congressman's aide, and of course Congressman Bustani again. And there's the man right there on the left, Robert Nellums, a building contractor and a friend to all of us, a real wonderful man. And I think the man in the center there was Glenn. Okay, I think it was Glenn. Here's our city marshal for Opelousas in Opelousas area, Paul Mouton, and our St. Landry Parish district attorney, Mr. Earl Taylor.
Yep.
And here's Mr. Glenn email telling, I guess, a little story and going over a little maybe congressional matter. Who knows? The congressman was visiting. And this is a new friend of mine that I really visited for a long time with on the left, Gino Richard, a very successful young farmer, and you know, plants a little bit of all the crops like a lot of farmers do, and knows Don Campbell, Sean Dejon. They all belong to a hunting club together, and of course our state representative from the Eunice Acadia Parish, St. Landry and Acadia Parish, Mickey Gilray. And Dr. Strain, who is our ag commissioner, he came in for a while and visited, and there's some rumors about him maybe running for governor.
Really?
You hadn't heard that?
Well,
I'm breaking you some news.
Well, I guess.
You didn't tell me that?
Our current governor's termed out. Huh?
That's correct. Yeah, so
I
you're
guess
going to
it's
see a little
possible, but
jockey.
A lot of names in the race.
And of course, the young man, we'll show another picture, but the young man standing up, well, right here standing up, of course, is Stephen Ortigo, my state representative. I'm in his district, and of course, the sheriff and Mickey again. And the fella standing up, taking the picture,
right.
that is Bert. That is Bert. That's the Forstham. And this is Mr. Jerry Red, councilman from St. Landry Parish councilman.
Right.
And this is Adam Hinskins with the Hinskins family, and he is an aide to the congressman also, travels with him. And again, same group again. And this is Saturday morning. That was Friday night, all the pictures. And Saturday morning, I went over to the palace to get me some breakfast. And the chef there, I said his name earlier, James. James is the chef there. Good morning to everybody at the palace. And of course, a couple that was enjoying that breakfast was Gerard and Deborah Couvillon. And I said, Couvillon, I said, back in Vars Parish, you got some bloodlines over there? He says, how you know? I said, all the Couvillons started out there. Yeah. He lives in the Lafayette area, and they like to come and enjoy the ambiance of the courthouse square and all that goes on around it.
And there's the power walker from around the courthouse square.
He has been walking and jogging for all of his adult life, I guess. And my longtime friend, Leslie Schiff, a very successful attorney. In fact, he had his license plate as, Bar 1. He was president of the
Bar Association?
Louisiana Bar Association. And of course, I like to tell the story when he's in front of me. I said, I was boxing in the 8th grade at 100 pounds, and Leslie was at 105, and he was in the 9th grade. How about that? We kind of grew since then. And I went over to see about this finger that's been kind of bothering me on my hand, and visited with Jerry Chamberlain, and then he recommended that I see Susan LaFleur, who specializes in hands and the shoulder and all. And these are two young ladies that I have the names. I don't want to mess them up. Sharon Andrus on the left, and from Port Barre, and then Lynn Swallow Fisher on the right. And they worked together at Opelousas General for 15, 20 years, and they were reminiscing, waiting on someone else that they had, brought to see the therapist there. Right. And of course, Lynn's daddy was Mr. Adna Swallow, and that's all related to me by way of my grandmother, Tante Bat. And of course, she talked about Tante Bat. Everybody loved Tante Bat, and she would visit Caro and Viv. Caro was the chief of police in Washington, and Mama would live in a little bitty house on their property.
And one more photo. Okay,
and then that's Dr. Hunt. From Opelousas here, married to Marguerite LaFleur Hunt, the twins, the LaFleur twins, Ronald and Donald. Sure. That's their brother-in-law right here, Dr. Hunt. And the young lady right here is Lois Lee. She likes to say that, she said, I know you knew my daddy, Mr. Rousseau Caillé from Grand Prairie, Louisiana.
While we're talking about Susan and the hand therapy, all this good work that she does, don't forget about the Cerebral Palsy Clinic annual Breakfast with Santa is going to be December the 5th on a Wednesday. We're going to be sending out the brochures and everything. You can send us a note if you want to at P.O. Box 70, or you can drop us an email if you want to get added to our mail list.
We'd love to have you. We need some
fresh
people to help us.
We got to go to a break. 1 minute, TV and radio. Folks, we'll see you on the other side of 1 minute.